I see him going to chew my rose bushes or dig his way to China, I use that 30-foot long line to redirect him there. There's also remote electronic collars that you can use. Just like your invisible fence. Anybody have the invisible fence? Yeah? So, just like the invisible fence, the only difference is it's remote activated. People go, oh my God, they're shock collars. No, they're not. It's not a defibrillator. It's not clear. No. All it does, it's like a tinge unit. It just makes muscles constrict. So exactly like the invisible fence, but a remote collar game for it. But when a dog abuses a freedom I'm giving him by being loose in the backyard, you lose that freedom. So I got to be there with him. Does that make sense? We got to teach him very clearly what we do and don't want him to do. The cool thing is eventually you can get away from the pen, you can get away from slip collar, you can get away from pinch, away from remote. The probability that behavior will stop. But some dogs aren't even clear on what we do and don't want them to do. And that's why we're being so clear today. Don't pull on my leash. Don't pick up stuff that's not yours. He may not even understand. Don't dig your way to China or don't chew up the backyard. Because when you walk out there and go, hey, stop chewing on that, you know what he hears? You're doing a great job. I love your demo work. Appreciate it. Because he's not cognitively understanding and know where to stop his neck. Does that make sense? Good. Yeah, so supervision, supervision, supervision. From there. Item control. This can be anything. Shoes, socks, hats, shirts, paper towels, garbage cans, kids' toys, you name it. You think they're going to pick it up, put it right in front of them. I realize this is not lifelike right now. You're not going to stand here the rest of your life going, all right, I'm watching it. But you need to practice it and set a tone. Once you start putting things in front of them, I encourage you to do this today. Go home, in the kitchen, drop some Tupperware on the floor. Don't set food out naked. Like I put this in this Ziploc baggie on purpose. He can still smell it. It's still permeating a little bit. But if he gets it, he's not getting a reward. All right? So that way, put a few things out of the house. Here's the best part. You use this equipment on them in the house too. They're going to go, I thought that was just a training class today. That's the number one thing that it's hard to do is take what you learn in training and incorporate it into your daily life. It does not take hours. It takes minutes. And once you set that tone, like we just saw with him, he said, oh, okay, we're back to this. Got it. And it flips that fast. All of these dogs have had extensive training in the prison. Sometimes we get phone calls, I don't think he's had any training. As soon as they do a little bit of leash work, next thing you know.
She did.
She doesn't. She has not? Okay, thank you for that clarity. What's that?
She was in foster.
She was in foster? Okay, thank you for that clarity. So we're going to take things extra slow with her as well, which we've already been doing. But taking it slow, making sure that we're a couple steps ahead of her, that's where the mechanics lie. All right, good. So from item control, here's what you can't do. I walk in the backyard. I see a hole's been dug to China or my rose bush has been torn in half. I can't do anything. But if I see them do it, then I'm going to track them down and use my leash. If you haven't figured it out yet, in the house, you do want them to drag a light leash and collar around. So anytime I see a behavior, I can pick up that leash, use it, drop it, go right about my day. This is not forever.
But it does stay on.
It does stay on, yes. It takes 21 days to create a new habit or pattern. 90 days for the neurons, the neuroplasticity, the brain to rewire. You've got about a 90-day window that as long as you're as diligent as possible, you don't have to be perfect, you will see confidence will start to come up in some situations and confidence will lessen in other situations. And that behavior will actually completely modify. Does that make sense? Good. Any questions on item control? Feel comfortable with that concept? Good. Here's the next concept, visitor control. Big ones, across the board. What is visitor control? The same idea as the item control. So, I am this bag of treats. What do I mean by that? As a visitor comes in, she is not allowed to commit towards the visitor. Just like she couldn't commit towards the treats. She's not allowed to feel the air around the treats either. Yeah. So as soon as you see commitment, that's where you use your leash. As soon as you see retractment, that's where reward happens. Okay? So what I'm going to do is come up to shake hands with you. Wow, good to see you. How are you? Good to see you. How are you? Very nice. Oh, my goodness. She hung out beautifully. A+. Now, somebody says, hey, can I pet your cute little dog? And you say, sure. If you don't want somebody to pet your dog, you may find a situation where she is so tight and uncomfortable with somebody, just her not running away is as good as it gets. Somebody says, can I pet your dog? I never say she's shy. I never say he might bite your hand a little bit. What I will say is, she's in training right now, thank you anyway. And this might be rude, but I don't care, I do put my hand up in front of people. I will say, she's in training right now, thank you anyway. It's always a true statement, training never ends, it just gets easier. Your leash is too long. There you go, good. Now, this is also commonplace, God love it. This is very, very common. Our heart says, she just wants a little more. She just wants a little more. Oh crap, I ran out of leash, what do I do now? So that's a loving mother in you, which I appreciate. But again, don't always take that a little bit more, So, somebody comes up to you, shakes your hand, good to see you, how are you? Did you see her shift a little bit? All right, so here's the other part. You all are very polite. You look me straight in the eye when you shake my hand. Thank you. Guess what? You get to be rude today. It's fantastic. You can look right at your dog. I don't care if we shake hands or not. Because it's micro movements that'll make or break you. It's that micro movement forward where we have to take action. Micro movement away where we have to take action. And also, especially for this case, you're dealing with a really tricky spot because you want to add just enough pressure to build confidence and not so much to break it down. So again, as I approach, just keep your eye on her. Good to see you. How are you? Just loose. She's not going anywhere. Good. She's actually looking at Captain Crunch over there. Then, if somebody says, can I pet your dog? Now, a shy dog, here's where you have to be careful. If I come over top of her, it's going to really put too much pressure. What I ask people is please come in at a side angle, my center on her. They can bend down a little bit. Huh, mama? They can offer a fist. Sweet thing. You see how, oh, she's pretty comfortable right now. Very happy to see that. But if I see that she's, oh God, too tight, thank you anyway. She's in training right now. And I'm going to move very quickly. I'm going to exit stage right. Pretty fast. We see you, mama. We're getting to you. And so again, not allowed to initiate contact with visitors, but not also allowed to run away. People are off-center, possibly offering her a treat, kind of be helpful. All right, good. So the last part of the visit. Anybody ever had somebody come over to their house? The greeting goes pretty well. The person sits on the couch and dog straight in their face, right on the couch. Yeah, maybe. So the idea is there's 3 parts to this visit. The last part is when the visitor backs away, they cannot approach the visitor anymore. All right. So as I come up here, greet you, beautiful Lisa. Good to see you. She's not allowed to initiate contact with visitors. There you go. Good job. Visitor can initiate contact with her. Now, did you see her shy away? Mm-hmm. What just happened? Look at my body language and look what my hands did. Over top. So it was over top. So what did she just tell us? Too much pressure. So how did I take pressure off?
Go beside her and get down below.
Yeah. So I'm going to be off center. So my body, my center line is faced away. Another thing you can do is offer a little treat. Good. And you see how I offer my hand. It's to the side of her muzzle. It is not underneath. She cannot see that. It is not over top. She cannot see that. It is right here. Also, what am I offering her? Why a fist?
Fist instead of a finger.
I like my phalanges.
I don't like it, bit period, but if you're going to bite my whole hand versus my pinky finger, it's going to be better. All right? So I come in, good to see you. How are you, mama? Very nice. She says, you smell like treats. You're kind of cool. Good. And then as I back away, she's relaxed. Now, what's the difference